October 2011. Scarlett Johansson's nude photos hit the internet, images she took for her husband that no one else was ever supposed to see. Within hours, Mila Kunis, Christina Aguilera, and 50 more celebrities. One victim attempts suicide. Hollywood is in chaos. The FBI launches a nationwide manhunt, assuming they're hunting a sophisticated hacker group with military-grade tools. What they find instead? A 35-year-old unemployed man in Florida, sitting in a bedroom full of Star Wars figurines. He never wrote a single line of code. He cracked Hollywood's most private accounts using nothing but Google and answers celebrities had been handing out in interviews for years. But here's where it gets insane. When the FBI started hunting him, he didn't panic. He hacked into his victims' emails and started reading the FBI's investigation. For weeks, he watched the agents chase shadows while he deleted evidence minutes before they looked. How did one man breach all of Hollywood? And what stupid mistake finally exposed him? November 2010. Christopher Chaney hunches over his laptop in a cramped Jacksonville bedroom, hunting for an opening into a world he's never belonged to. He's 35 years old, unemployed, and living a life so unremarkable that neighbors couldn't describe him if asked. But tonight, he's hunting. Not for a job. For a way into Hollywood's inner circle. He doesn't target Scarlett Johansson first. That would be reckless, too high profile, too much security scrutiny. Instead, he picks someone most people have never heard of. Simone Harouche, a celebrity stylist who dresses the stars. She's not famous herself, but she texts Christina Aguilera at midnight. She has Scarlett Johansson's personal email saved in her contacts. She's connected to everyone who matters. One weak link in the chain. That's all Chaney needs. He navigates to her email login page and clicks Forgot Password. A security question appears on the screen. What is your mother's maiden name? Chaney doesn't know the answer, but Google might. He opens a new tab, types her name plus mother plus family plus wedding. Scrolls through the results, and within 4 minutes he finds it. A wedding announcement from a local newspaper, years old, buried in search results most people would never dig through. Her mother's maiden name is printed right there in black and white. He returns to the login page, types it in, and access granted. Suddenly, he's inside. Thousands of emails spread before him like an unlocked vault. Scheduling notes with A-list clients, candid messages that were never meant for outside eyes, personal photos from fitting rooms, celebrities trying on outfits. Chaney expected firewalls, encryption, some kind of sophisticated resistance. Instead, he walked through an unlocked door. The digital security protecting Hollywood's inner circle was nothing more than a trivia question with an answer anyone could Google. But here's where Chaney transforms a single break-in into an 11-month surveillance operation that will eventually draw the FBI. In the account settings, he discovers a feature most people never think about: email forwarding rules. His fingers tremble as he enters his own secret email address and clicks forward all incoming mail. Now, every message Simone Harouche receives, every text from every celebrity client, every scheduling request, every private conversation, automatically copies itself to Chaney's inbox, instantly. She'll never know. He's become a ghost in her digital life, an invisible roommate reading her mail before she even opens it. Then he clicks on her contact list, and his heart nearly stops. Private email addresses, personal phone numbers, names that fill movie posters and billboard charts. Christina Aguilera, Mila Kunis, Scarlett Johansson, and a dozen more. Not their public accounts, their real ones. The addresses they use to talk to family, to lovers, to lawyers, and even to doctors. An entire social web that only Hollywood insiders know exists. And now Chaney has the complete map. He leans back, heart pounding, staring at the contact book of the entertainment industry's elite. One hacked stylist just gave him access to 50 potential targets. But a question already forming in his mind will determine everything that follows. Do the same vulnerable security questions that unlocked Simone Harouche's email also protect Hollywood's biggest stars? Cheney is about to find out, and what he discovers will make him the most dangerous voyeur in American history. Over the following weeks, Cheney tears through Hollywood's inner circle like a contagion spreading through a nervous system. The technique never changes. Click, forgot password. Find the security question. Google the answer and enter. Account after account falls open before him. The security questions are almost laughable in their simplicity. What was your first pet's name? What street did you grow up on? What's your favorite movie? Celebrities answer these questions in interviews constantly, in fan Q&As, even in throwaway social media posts. They've been broadcasting their passwords for years without realizing it. Nobody connected the dots until Christopher Cheney. By February 2011, he's inhabiting dozens of inboxes simultaneously, a digital phantom moving through Hollywood's most private spaces. His days now begin and end with other people's secrets. He wakes up each morning and checks his emails, except they're not his. They belong to actors, musicians, directors, and producers. 12 hours a day, 14 hours, sometimes 16. He reads film scripts months before they reach theaters or even agents' desks. He sees tearful breakup messages between couples the tabloids still think are happy. He watches financial disputes, legal threats, and confessions meant for therapists. Travel itineraries tell him exactly where each celebrity will be tomorrow, next week, or next month. It's like watching the most exclusive reality show on Earth, unedited, unfiltered, and completely real. And no one in the world knows he's watching. He catches glimpses of the mundane amid all the glamour. A famous actor's inbox cluttered with spam for discount car insurance. A pop star bickering with her sister over a borrowed jacket. A director complaining about a parking ticket. For moments, their lives feel almost normal, relatable, human. Then the next email reveals a private crisis, an intimate confession, a photo meant only for a lover's eyes. And Cheney remembers he's peering into worlds most people only fantasize about reaching. With each passing day, his obsession deepens. He's not just watching anymore, he's building an archive. Folders on his hard drive are carefully labeled with celebrity names, thousands of photographs sorted by date and subject, confidential contracts, personal identification documents, medical records, legal correspondence. Every secret these people thought was protected by passwords and encryption, now cataloged on a stock Dell computer in suburban Florida. The man who would later be dubbed the Hackerazzi is compiling a library of Hollywood's most sensitive information, and his collection keeps growing. But one target continues to elude him: the crown jewel, the one name that would prove beyond any doubt that he can breach anyone in the industry: Scarlett Johansson. World famous, intensely private, and notoriously careful about her digital footprint, exactly the challenge his swelling ego demands. He knows pressing his luck is dangerous. The higher the profile, the greater the risk of triggering alarms. Yet, late one night, running on caffeine and adrenaline, he pulls up her contact entry from Simone Harouche's stolen address book. He stares at Scarlett Johansson's personal email address. One more hit, just one more. He clicks "Forgot password." The security question appears. What was the name of your first pet? Cheney laughs out loud in his dark bedroom. Scarlett has done hundreds of interviews over her career. Surely she's mentioned a childhood pet somewhere. He opens a search, types "Scarlett Johansson childhood pet," and begins scrolling through years of archived profiles and fan sites. Minutes pass. Then, buried deep in an old magazine interview from the early 2000s, he finds it. She mentioned a cat named Trooper, a throwaway detail in a throwaway interview, forgotten by everyone except the search engines that indexed it. He types Trooper and he has it. He is in the account. Scarlett Johansson's entire digital life spreads open before him. Personal emails, celebrity contacts, and something else: her smartphone backup, stored automatically in her cloud account. He navigates the folders until he finds one labeled DCIM, the default directory where camera photos are stored. He clicks and thumbnail images flood his screen. Private photographs, intimate and vulnerable images Scarlett took for her husband Ryan Reynolds, meant for his eyes only. The kind of photographs that would rocket around the globe in seconds if they ever leaked. Cheney's hands shake as he copies every last one to his hard drive, his face lit blue by the monitor glow. It's 3 a.m. He's done it. God mode access to Hollywood's most private star. But as he sits alone in the darkness, a new emotion flickers beneath the adrenaline. A hunger he didn't expect. He holds nuclear secrets now, career-ending, marriage-destroying, and headline-dominating secrets. He could stay invisible forever, quietly watching from the shadows. Or he could prove to the world what he's accomplished. The intoxicating thrill of secrecy wars with a desperate need for recognition. He thought being invisible was addictive. Now he's tasted real power. And one question burns through his mind, a question that will destroy everything he's built. What's the point of stealing fire from the gods if you never show anyone the flame? Will Cheney stay in the shadows, or will the addiction to proving himself drag him into the light and straight into the crosshairs of the FBI? September 2011. The temptation finally breaks him. It starts with anonymous emails sent at 2 a.m. from accounts Cheney created specifically for this purpose. He selects the most explosive images from his collection, tantalizing proof of what he's accessed, and forwards them to a celebrity gossip website under a fake name. Under another alias, Trainwreck Sucks What, he taunts a fellow hacker on an underground forum, hinting that he possesses exclusive Hollywood content nobody else has seen. He's not asking for money. What he wants is recognition. Validation that an invisible nobody from Jacksonville, Florida, a man the world has overlooked his entire life, holds the keys to a kingdom. For 30 seconds after pressing send, raw panic floods his body. A voice screams inside his head, "What have you done?" This is exactly the moment he should have stopped. But curiosity and pride drown out the fear. He watches and waits, and he doesn't have to wait long. Within days, the internet detonates. Private photographs of celebrities explode across gossip blogs and forums, spreading faster than anyone can contain them. First, Christina Aguilera's private images surface, obtained when Cheney, posing as her stylist Simone Harouche, emailed Aguilera directly and asked for personal photographs. She sent them, believing she was communicating with a trusted friend. Then, Mila Kunis, images from her phone appearing online. And then, the bomb that makes international headlines. Scarlett Johansson's nude photographs hit the web. The intimate images she took for Ryan Reynolds, the ones Cheney copied from her cloud backup in the dead of night. The story becomes the biggest celebrity scandal in years. Paparazzi swarm outside victims' homes. Cable news pundits run breathless speculation about a celebrity hacking ring operating somewhere in the shadows. Hollywood descends into chaos. Publicists scramble for damage control. Lawyers threaten lawsuits against websites hosting the images. Agents bombard each other with frantic calls. No one knows how many people have been compromised. Everyone fears they might be next. And Christopher Cheney? He has a front row seat to the destruction he's caused. Through the forwarding rules he planted months ago, he reads every panicked email the victims send, every tearful message of comfort, every conversation between victims trying to understand how their most private moments ended up on screens around the world. Cheney has become both arsonist and spectator, lighting the fire and then sitting back to watch it burn through the lives of people who never knew he existed. But now the blaze has grown too large to ignore. The FBI activates within hours of the first major leak. What began as humiliated celebrities quietly changing passwords transforms into a high-priority federal investigation. Agents codename it Operation Hackerazzi, a nod to the way this unknown perpetrator has behaved like a ruthless digital paparazzo, hunting private moments with the same relentless hunger. Special agents from the FBI's cyber division descend on Los Angeles, interviewing victims one by one. This is no longer about embarrassing photographs. It's about federal crimes, identity theft, wiretapping, and unauthorized computer access, penalties that could mean decades in prison. Yet Cheney still feels untouchable, watching it all unfold from his Jacksonville bedroom. How will they ever find me? He's been careful. Anonymous proxies, Burner email addresses, fake identities, no direct connection to his real name anywhere in the chain. What Cheney doesn't realize, the FBI is about to make a critical mistake, one that will accidentally give him access to their entire investigation. How long can a man spy on the people hunting him before he makes a single fatal error? The FBI begins contacting victims directly, asking for their cooperation, advising them to check their email accounts for suspicious forwarding rules, scheduling interviews, sharing security recommendations. Standard investigative procedure. Except there's one catastrophic oversight. Cheney's forwarding rules are still active on multiple victim accounts. Every email the FBI sends to these celebrities automatically copies itself to Cheney's secret inbox. He's receiving the investigation's internal communications in real time. The hunters are unknowingly briefing their prey. Cheney reads a message from an FBI agent to one actress. Please check your email settings for any forwarding rules you didn't create. We suspect the perpetrator may be intercepting your communications. He intercepts this warning before she can act on it, logs into her account and deletes his forwarding rule, scrubs any evidence of his presence. The FBI examines her settings the next day, finds nothing suspicious, and marks her account as cleared. 2 days later, Cheney logs back in and quietly reactivates the forwarding. The tap is live again. He's playing Puppet Master while federal investigators chase ghosts. Every scheduled interview with a victim, he sees it coming. Every new security recommendation the FBI distributes, he reads it first. Every investigative lead they pursue, he watches them pursue it in real time. The man who transformed Hollywood into his personal surveillance network has now transformed the FBI into his unwitting intelligence service. He knows their moves before they make them. He feels invincible, untouchable, like a god watching mortals stumble in the dark. But living inside your enemy's head comes with a fatal requirement: constant access. To keep reading these communications, Cheney must log into the celebrity accounts repeatedly, even as federal agents monitor them with heightened scrutiny. Each login leaves a digital fingerprint. Each connection carries risk. He barely sleeps now. The obsession has consumed his entire existence. 16-hour surveillance days become 20-hour days. Every incoming email might reveal how close they're getting. Anxiety gnaws at his stomach, but the thrill of staying one step ahead is more intoxicating than any drug. He's riding a razor's edge between triumph and total destruction, and he refuses to step back. Finally, after weeks of this high-wire performance, he slips. It happens on a late September evening. Cheney is exhausted, juggling dozens of compromised accounts, processing a flood of intercepted communications. He needs to check one particular inbox quickly, just a few seconds, a quick glance to see if anything important has arrived. But instead of routing the connection through his usual chain of anonymous proxies, he connects directly. His real IP address, his real geographic location. The session lasts maybe 10 seconds, but somewhere on a server logging every access attempt, those 10 seconds are recorded. The FBI's cyber team spots the anomaly within hours. Amidst thousands of login attempts from IP addresses scattered across Eastern Europe and Asia, the work of Cheney's proxy network, one connection stands out like a signal flare in the darkness. A domestic IP address in Jacksonville, Florida. Someone local just accessed a victim's account directly. Investigators trace the IP to an internet service provider, then to a residential account, then to a physical address, then to a name: Christopher Cheney. The walls begin closing in. Agents prepare surveillance, build their case, and coordinate with prosecutors. The man who watched everyone is now being watched himself, and he has absolutely no idea. His stolen access to FBI communications shows nothing, because agents have stopped emailing the victims and started planning a raid. Will Cheney see them coming through his network of stolen inboxes? Or has the invisible man finally run out of shadows to hide in? October 12th, 2011, Jacksonville, Florida. A convoy of FBI vehicles surrounds a small house on a quiet suburban street. Agents take positions at every exit. Inside, Christopher Cheney sits at his computer, bloodshot eyes scanning another celebrity's inbox, completely unaware of the forces converging outside. He's been awake for 22 hours straight. He doesn't hear the vehicles positioning themselves, doesn't notice the agents in tactical gear moving silently into formation around his home. The front door explodes inward. FBI, don't move! Cheney's hands fly up instinctively. 11 months of digital invisibility, of watching, stalking, stealing, surveilling, end in 3 violent seconds. The man who lived inside Hollywood's most private moments, who read their secrets and copied their photos and watched the FBI hunt him in real time, is suddenly visible at last, blinking in the Florida dawn, wearing a wrinkled t-shirt and pajama pants, looking nothing like the sophisticated cyber-criminal investigators half expected to find. Agents sweep through his makeshift office. The scene borders on absurd. Snack wrappers everywhere, comic books stacked on shelves, a cheap Dell computer with a sticky note on the monitor reading "password." On a corkboard above his desk, printouts of Wikipedia pages and tabloid articles with celebrity names and personal details circled in red marker, his cheat sheets for cracking security questions. No server farms, sophisticated hacking equipment, or encrypted communication devices. The epicenter of Hollywood's biggest privacy breach is a messy suburban bedroom that smells like stale soda and desperation. On Cheney's hard drives, agents discover a staggering archive. Thousands of private photographs sorted into labeled folders. Email archives spanning nearly a year of surveillance. Confidential contracts, personal identification documents, even medical information. Material stolen from over 50 victims, all of it sitting unencrypted, cataloged with disturbing precision. The scope of the violation sends chills through even veteran investigators. This wasn't a single opportunistic hack. It was systematic privacy theft executed over 11 months by one obsessive man with a cheap computer and patience. But here's the detail that shocked prosecutors most. Christopher Cheney didn't stop when the FBI seized his computers. Court records confirm he continued hacking even after agents took his equipment during the initial arrest. He found other devices, kept breaking into accounts. The addiction had consumed him so completely that federal agents knocking down his door couldn't make him quit. In the federal courtroom, the human cost of Cheney's obsession becomes devastatingly clear. Victims deliver impact statements describing destroyed lives. Actress and singer Renee Olstead breaks down sobbing as she reveals she attempted suicide after Cheney leaked her intimate photographs. "You can lose everything because of the actions of a stranger," she tells the judge, barely able to speak. "I just really hope this doesn't happen to someone else." These aren't celebrities playing victims for sympathy. These are human beings whose most private moments were stolen and distributed to the world by a stranger who felt entitled to their lives. Cheney's own words to the court are almost pathetic in their inadequacy. "I was just curious, and I got addicted. I couldn't stop. I'm sorry. I could be sentenced to never use a computer again and I wouldn't care." Judge S. James Otero doesn't believe him. He notes that Cheney's victims included 2 ordinary women, former co-workers, whom he stalked and harassed for over a decade before ever targeting celebrities. He sent nude photographs of one woman directly to her own father. Fame wasn't the trigger for his obsession. Any life he could pry into was fair game. Celebrity victims simply offered more valuable trophies. The prosecution requests 71 months. Judge Otero sentences Christopher Cheney to 10 years in federal prison, the maximum allowed under the plea agreement. These types of crimes, the judge declares, are as pernicious and serious as physical stalking. 10 years. For 11 months of stolen moments, for 50 violated lives, for 1 attempted suicide, for an addiction that couldn't be stopped even by FBI agents at the door. But here's what should genuinely terrify you. Cheney's method still works today. The same security questions that unlocked Scarlett Johansson's cloud backup are probably protecting your email account right now. Your mother's maiden name, your first pet's name, the street you grew up on, your high school mascot, every answer you've ever shared on social media, in online quizzes, in casual conversations. All of it is ammunition for anyone patient enough to search. 2-factor authentication exists. Security alerts exist. Better protections exist. But most people don't use them. Convenience defeats caution every time. Passwords get reused across dozens of accounts. Security questions remain simple and searchable. And the assumption persists. Who would ever bother targeting me? Christopher Cheney served his sentence and was released. The photographs he stole can never be removed from the internet. The victims will spend the rest of their lives wondering who else rifled through their private moments while they slept. And somewhere right now, someone with a search engine and too much free time is hunting for their next target. Maybe they've already found yours. If you think vulnerable security questions are the only way hackers breach high-profile accounts, you haven't seen what happens when they target the phone companies directly. The story of how one teenager convinced telecom employees to hand over control of Twitter's most verified accounts, Elon Musk, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Apple's official corporate page, causing a cryptocurrency scam that made international headlines, is waiting for you right now.